Well, everyone, I guess we're officially kicking off. My name is Ravi Iyer. I'm the managing director of the USC Marshall School Neely Center. I'm one of the co-chairs of the Council on Technology and Social Cohesion. I'd like to welcome you to our second part of our expo. The first part took place in Kyrgyzstan this morning. It's truly a global coalition in the council. We have 106 members across 6 continents. And so we wanted to be, accommodate all the time zones. So this is our DC Americas portion. I'm joined by Kristin Hansen and Lena Stockmulder, who are our fellow co-chairs. And yeah, just welcome to our expo. So Trudy, do you want to project slides and we'll. Great. So just waiting for the slides. Okay, great. So, like, what if technology could build trust and collaboration rather than polarization and violence? So, this is the question that's really motivated the Council on Technology and Social Cohesion. When we started, a lot of this conversation really focused on, the bad things, hate speech, misinformation. It was somewhat reactive. If we see something that we don't like online, what do we do about it? And I think we all realized that there was a more productive way to think about it. How do we design these platforms better? How do we go more upstream and figure out how these systems could be designed better so these bad things don't happen in the first place? And instead of technology polarizing us, it can actually build social cohesion. So next slide. So we work across 3 layers. We work across policy. So we work on regulation. We work with regulators who have existing policy. We work with litigators, and you'll hear from some of those today. We work with technologists. You'll hear from many technologists today. You'll hear from research collaborators who work with technologists. And really, how do we go directly to companies and help them understand and also learn from them? Like, what are companies seeing? Where are they seeing opportunities to improve practice? And then, probably the thing that I get the most out of is the opportunity to work with peace builders around the world. So Alliance for Peacebuilding is a great organization that sort of brings these peace builders together. We work across 6 continents and just really learning the wisdom that people in local communities have about how these technology products are or are not influencing social cohesion. Next slide. So to do this, we work in many different ways. We do research. So I work at the University of Southern California. We have the Knight Georgetown Institute represented. We have the Pro Social Design Network that aggregates research from many areas. We work on measurement. So Build Up, for example, has the polarization footprint that sort of measures the impact of technology on societal cohesion. And then we have people in practice, right? So like people working in peace building communities, people at the Integrity Institute who have worked in trust and safety at organizations, and how can they help create the evidence that we need in order to inform policy and practice. Next slide. And so here's an example of some of the work. I hope you had a chance to check out our website. I hope you sign up for our Substack. If you like what you hear today, we'll be sending out videos. And if you sign up for Substack, you'll get the videos in your inbox. And lastly, next slide. And yeah, again, I just want to emphasize we're a community of 106 members across 6 continents. You can see how global we really are. Maybe we're a little bit concentrated in the United States, but we really are attempting to be more representative of the world. And we really welcome, especially our global community members. So with that, I'll turn it back over to Nick and Liz to say a few words from our hosts in DC.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Ravi. And Liz is coming up to join me right now.
And I'm not going to say much.
Yeah.
What I'm going to say is welcome everybody to the Alliance for Peacebuilding, and thank you so much to our tech council. And Ravi is also a board member of the Alliance for Peacebuilding. And when anything happens, obviously we all read the news and something comes up. I immediately send it to Nick and Ravi and say, what does this mean? How bad is this? And Ravi always tells me not to worry and to relax. So he is our guru on all of tech issues. But I really just want to come up here and also thank Nick, the AFP team, and again, the council. Nick's amazing. Couldn't live without him here at AFP. And I just want to say thank you all for coming online. I see the number keep ticking up. We're almost close to 100 online. And this work is so critical because we know it can cause harm, but we also know we can harness it for good. And this is the work that they do. It's so critical. And I just want to thank you all for coming and turn it over to the amazing Nick. So
Thank you, Liz. Thank you. Hi, everybody. I think everyone in the room probably knows who I am because you had to email me to sign up. But my name is Nick Zuroski, and I'm a senior manager for policy and advocacy with the Alliance for Peacebuilding. And a bit about AFP, we are a network of almost 300 organizations that work in peacebuilding, conflict prevention, and adjacent sectors. And our whole goal is to build and advance the field. I like to say we make the sum bigger than the parts. And I want to start by telling a story. I've been at AFP for almost 5 years now, which is crazy. I had more light in my eyes when I started at AFP in summer of 2021, but I'm still here.
As an intern.
Yes, as an intern, as an intern. And the first working group I was assigned to was the Digital Peacebuilding Community of Practice. And at the time, this was hosted in partnership with AFP, Search for Common Ground, which is another organization that is co-hosting today's event, the Toda Peace Institute, and Mercy Corps. And we were a group of researchers, practitioners, and advocates that sought to not just reduce and avoid conflict online, as well as prevent that conflict from breaking out offline, but to harness digital tools in a way that makes our work more effective and impactful. And with every year that passed at AFP, I saw this work become more critical to our mission as peace builders and field builders. So digital platforms and spaces, we know they're rewiring how we see ourselves, how we relate to each other, how we process information, how we understand and take part in conflict and democracy in public spaces. And we as peace builders can't in good faith do our work without understanding that and adapting our work accordingly. And I don't want to go on about the harms that digital technologies can bring. I think at this point, those trends are widely known, especially because today is about solutions. And our digital peacebuilding community of practice is now one of the council's 6 thematic hubs that Ravi was talking about earlier. It has continued and expanded its work in recent years to really be a convening space for the field, to host demos of innovative tools, demos like the ones you'll see today, and allowing practitioners to share lessons learned from hard work. And we at AFP seek to make peacebuilding and conflict prevention a top consideration in anything, any program, any policy. Because obviously, doing that means our problem solvers and our governments can work upstream of issues to prevent them instead of just treating the symptoms. And so because of that, last year, AFP also established its Digital Peacebuilding Policy Integration Hub, which is making sure that emerging technologies are part of those policy integration efforts. We don't just want programs and policies to understand digital harms. We want to make sure that the innovations that you see here today are really promoted upstream and mainstreamed within donor frameworks. And so as a global network of almost 300 peacebuilding organizations, we know all too well the challenges facing the field today. You have record-breaking violent conflict, it's increasing, donors are cutting funding for peacebuilding and conflict prevention, and we see a rise in militarism and military spending. But every crisis brings with it an opportunity. And today you'll see the opportunity before us today. We're going to move from harm mitigation to intentional design in digital platforms. We want to build off of recent victories to promote safety by design. We want to think creatively to design and deploy peace-promoting technologies that actually meet people in their daily lives so that they're effective. And we want to do so in a way that ensures organizations work together collectively. That is the spirit of AFP, for the sake of the field. We want to share lessons learned and best practices to make sure we have strength in numbers. So with that, let's begin. I am happy to introduce Kristin Hansen of the Civic Health Project, who is another co-chair of the Council on Tech and Social Cohesion, for our first session, which will be a fireside chat on intentional design for deliberative outcomes. So Kristin, over to you.
All right.